scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect from a throw. Okay, so on the football. So goddamn hard about how long.
It's December 2nd, 2024, and the Fantasy Millionaires are coming at you like Aziz Al-Shair when a QB tries to slide too close to him. We are ready to throw and catch our own touchdowns, Josh Allen style, in our Week 14 Look Ahead show. Plus, with all the 2024 trades to get paid in the books, get ready for a little extra BS in our BS segment as we reminisce on Week 13 and wax poetic about whatever we feel like waxing on. Stacks, where should we wax first?
Well, I gotta say, I love that. A little bit of the BS. Yeah. That touchdown by Josh Allen was a thing of beauty. And I mean, just balling in the snow, that made me so happy. That just brought all the football feels to me. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say the Fantasy Millionaires are officially now powered by, supported by, hosted by as well. Fantasy Six Pack by Joe Bond and other friends as well. These guys are awesome. Had a great time hanging out with Joe Bond a couple weeks ago. He shared with me just the opportunity that we had to join him, to collaborate with him, and I loved it. I love the Maryland ties. I love the work that Joe has put in. I love all the work they put in. Everybody over at Fantasy Six Pack, they are crushing it. And Mike and I, knowing Joe and AJ and some of the other guys too, we like these people. These are good folks, and we like mixing it up with them. We like playing fantasy football with them. We're in leagues with them, and so we're honored to work with them and to come alongside and to offer anything we have and just have a lot of fun talking fantasy football and just talking about what we love, which is the NFL. It is just the drama that is every single week our favorite thing. And you talked about a few of the things there. You didn't even mention Christian McCaffrey's Achilles and calf exploding in the snow. That just looked terrible. I don't know if it exploded, but
PCL.
Oh, it was something. It rattled my bones. I saw it. I just didn't like it. Just looked like a little. So no, thank you to that. But man, what a crazy weekend for fantasy too. Yeah, not great.
Yeah. I saw that same video, and it looks like the same thing that happens to everyone when they tear their Achilles, but they said it says PCL. So that's good because, I mean, I think Christian McCaffrey at this stage in his career, if he tears his Achilles, they're getting so much better at everything, but just scary for what the rest of his career is going to look like. I think PCL, he'll be able to come back from that. So it sure did look like he tore his Achilles, though. His whole leg popped from Achilles to buttock,
Right. It was a fissure. It was something not good. I did not like seeing it. It was bad. So that the rest of the stuff though in the snow, I loved it. All of the inability to stand up, all the people falling down. And James Cook, your boy, was like a ninja out there. He just could not be stopped. He was running faster than everybody else. He had traction. No one else did. He had the super cleats. I mean, that guy looked like he was just better than everybody else on the field, except for Josh Allen, who was catching and throwing and then catching touchdowns. So I love it. I waited all day for that game. That game made my soul happy. Just seeing the snow, and then the commentators would go, "They scored a touchdown. Here comes the snowballs." I was just like,
it was so cool. Dude, snow games. I mean, that Cleveland Pittsburgh game and that game last night, two amazing games this season. Josh Allen is now the only quarterback in NFL history with a throwing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown in the same game. So how cool!
Unbelievable.
Dude, that play was so cool because Chris Collingsworth was, big up in the fantasy community because he's like, I think I just won my fantasy game with that. Like, it was such a crazy fantasy swing too. Like, I was playing Bo in the Fantasy Millionaires League, and he was down a lot. I mean, we're both out, so it doesn't even matter. But he I was like, I want to finish out 7-7, respectable, and I was crushing him, and he jumped like 30 points on that play. Like, it was just crazy. I was like, oh no, I wanted to beat Bo, and I did end up beating him by like 1 point, but I don't even think he was even paying attention to that game.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's nice when you can enjoy the game and the fantasy, because you know what? I think we were talking about it on the phone yesterday. At one point, we were just reminiscing and talking of fantasy, and I was just like, fantasy football, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy this. That's the name of the game is fun. Right now, it's anything but fun, right? For most folks, it is nail biting. It is panic inducing, anxiety riddling. I'm going for the most points. I sucked it up this week. I need a huge night from either my defense or Jerry Jeudy to just get me back in. You're coming at my heels. Everyone's nipping at me. That stuff makes you go crazy. And, you took the Jeff Ratliff approach where you were just kind of like, I'm going to zen it out. I'm just not going to pay attention. Well, I'm the lead dog in the pack. I'm probably going to get the bye. I can't. I can't. I'm obsessed.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro. This is definitely what I hoped we would wax poetic on, because I told you this yesterday when we were on the phone, how I had made a decision to do this, and a neighbor of mine who I'm in a league with down the street, I got my cool new outdoor TV. So I invited him over, and I was actually playing him, and this week in our fantasy matchup, and I was whooping his ass, and I might knock him out of the playoffs, and like, I'm gonna get the bye. And so I called him up, and he thought I was calling to like spike on him, and I was like, no, man, come over, watch my TV. And he was like, oh, I almost didn't answer. I thought you were calling to like be a douche. And I was like, no, I was like, I'm not even watching. And he's like, oh, you're killing me. And I did not watch any updates to any so I played 15 DFS lineups, and I have 9 leagues, 8 redraft, 1 dynasty. And I'm vying for the bye in like 4 leagues. So I made a decision yesterday for the first time ever. I've never done this. I did not look until all the games were done. I did not look until 7:30 at my phone. And guess what? I log into my DFS. I was 657th place in the Millie Maker, and I won. I cashed. I won like $80. I made some DFS money. I won a bunch of games. I lost a couple close ones too. I'll tell you what, I think that this should be preached. And yes, Jeff Ratcliffe was someone, I know you've preached this before. He's somebody that he preaches this all the time, how this is supposed to be fun. And when you look at your phone and obsess, it stops being fun. And I've noticed that this season, I am constantly breaking the seal early on a Sunday to look at my stuff. And let me just tell you, I logged into my DFS account. I won $80. And guess what? After I looked at everything, for some reason in this Millie Maker lineup was the only lineup where I decided not to play Chase Brown and the Jets D. I would have won $100,000 if I'd have played those 2 people. I literally would have won. But so let me tell you,
you'd have been upset.
Let me tell you, I didn't have to find that. I didn't have to have my Sunday ruined. I got to go in and see. I won $80. Great. Yeah, I won $80. And I didn't have to deal with that until, I didn't even look. I didn't even figure that out until I think today. And then I was like, let me just see. And then I was like,
how much money could I have won?
Oh my God. Yeah, I would have won $100,000. But you know what? It didn't even hurt me today like it would have. I mean, if that was going through my head all day, it would have been a miserable Sunday.
Right.
Even though
mega tilting. Just we had a great time talking, but you would have been down in the depth of despair. Yeah. It's also nice to have hope too. I mean, yesterday, my Millie Maker lineup won $30, right? I thought I freaking had Justin Herbert in there. I thought I had put my Pickens and my Russell Wilson stack in there. So I was like, oh man, I might make like $1,000 or something, Then when I looked, it said nothing. And I went, what the hell? And I looked, I put Justin Herbert in there. And I went, oh, God damn it. I made a mistake. And my lineup that had, Russell Wilson in it was piddling away in the 25-cent, huge tournament that just doesn't do anything. It won me like $1 or something, So yeah. I feel that. And you frame it. It's how you frame it, right? And if you're framing it, you're enjoying football, you're watching the game, it's no game, it's this, it's that. You're not sweating points. You're not looking to try to win in this second because you can't win every second. It's just hard to do.
I just think if there's anybody out there listening to our fun, cute little podcast, I know you're a fantasy DGen just like us. You're in multiple leagues just like us. And I really want to emphasize how I really believe that this is the pathway to enjoying fantasy football. Literally, it doesn't matter if you're in first place or whatever. Don't look. Just don't look. If you go through this, you're gonna know stuff, and you're gonna be tracking stuff on your own. But if you don't look, like this was another cool thing. I swear to God, why do we play fantasy football? Right? We all play fantasy football. Yeah, chicks, they love it.
They hate it.
Yeah.
They hate it.
Yeah. Anyway, Chuck Fass has a great tweet about that, but it's not on my 3 tweets. It's like men play fantasy football because they love it, and women get to hate their men, so it's a win-win. Women get to be angry and happy about being angry at their man. Anyway. I think the reason why we all play fantasy football, minus if you win, that's great. But the thing the crack that keeps us coming back, right, is draft night, right? The feeling that you have after the draft. Okay. I mean, I'm in 8 redraft, 1 dynasty. When I am done drafting before the season begins, and this year it came to such a first game, Jordan Love getting injured just ruined this feeling for me. But the feeling of the imagining, I'm not just going to win one league, I'm going to win all 9 of my leagues, and I'm going to be the most legendary fantasy football player that's ever lived. I'm going to dominate all my friends, and I'm going to win every single league. And that's what it's the fairy tale that we all, tell ourselves.
As the ego. It's the stroke of the itch. It's you're so much better. All the picks.
Well, but that's the fun of it too. There's right. Nothing's happened. There's no outcome. So no. you get to imagine the outcomes, right? Like that's the fun of it. I will tell you.
I don't ever do that, by the way. I think it's always fun when you say that you do that, because when I do it, I just think of all the bad things that could happen to my team.
When you're done drafting, you don't think
I love my team. I think I have a good team, but I'm just
you always think you have the best team.
I think I have got a good. Hey, listen,
you talk smack every time you draft. Yeah, you look at it, you're like, my team's better than your team.
I do say that. I've said that.
Yes, you do. You've done it to me so many times.
I'm confessing. I've said that, but what I'm trying to say is, I'm more fearful. I don't think I'm going to win all. I feel like, man, it is so freaking, like Rushy Rice, gone. Cooper Kupp first couple weeks, gone. Just, I just know how this game works. And so it's more like, who knows? I hope I didn't step on any landmines, but at face value, without any injuries, yeah, my team was better than yours. Right. Without Rushy Rice injured, my team was better. It still is.
You want to add a little nuance to the that to kind of add definition to the picture, but still the thing that you have post draft is hope, right?
Yes.
There's just this cool feeling of hope and this imagination.
You got money in your pocket. You're rich.
I think that's why people play DFS too. It's like when you're building your lineups, you're imagining what you're going to do with your cash, right? Like it's part of the fun. Like you get to imagine until about 5 minutes in when the Seahawks return a kick and you're like, I lost. I don't have the Seahawks D anywhere. Well, let me just tell you, yesterday, also not looking, having 15 DFS lineups and then 9 leagues, there was so much in there that I was able to sort of zen out, and like I knew which, main players I cared about. I had a lot of Russell Wilson. Even in those free leagues, where you win like $5,000 if you come in first place, like I came in like I won like dollars in there. Like I came in really high. I was playing a lot of Russell Wilson. So I knew I was doing good yesterday. And but I also got to just sit there and just keep that like draft feeling that you have, or DFS feeling when you're building your lineups, the hope feeling. I got to extend that all the way. Instead of breaking the seal at 1:30 or 2:30 or 3:30 or whenever you decide to break it, I got to keep the seal all the way up until 7:30. And then I got to look at my phone and be like, yep, I didn't win $1 million. I'm not a millionaire. Oh, I won some leagues. I did good. Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Oh, that's good. Blah, blah, blah. You even told me on the phone, I don't want to break your seal, but you got a barn burner going. I log in there. I'm like, oh, that's a good. I like this score. That's good.
Right.
But I didn't have to deal with all the anxiety. And
Right.
I just feel like this needs to be said. This needs to be said to all of us fantasy DJs. Try it. Don't break. Go till 7:30. It's fun.
Listen, I used to do 4 p.m. Right.
That's what I did.
I still do. I still do normally. I looked at the phone.
You taught me it.
Yeah. I don't even look until later, but what I do look at least most of the time now, is I'm looking at my fantasy in BFS, which is our main league, which is the league of record, which is the league that, we both won. And so like you want that cash, you want that money, you want that mucho, so I'm not even thinking about spending it. I'm thinking about trying to get it, and that's just very hard to do. So, I'm with you. And I think for next week, which is week 14, there's 6 teams on bye. So 6 teams on bye. A lot of them are on bye. It's going to be another one of those where I might not be in the playoffs in some leagues. I might have to win to get in. And so if I'm fretting the whole day, it'll ruin football. So I'm going to make a commitment here now on the show live in front of all you beautiful people. I will not break the seal on my phone until at least 6 o'clock. That means I've got at least 5 hours of viewing purity in the form of, red zone, which is not even pure anyway, because you only, don't get to see any of the games. But yes, I will. Thank you for your challenge, good sir. It's a good way to go.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I do just feel like all of us people out there that are obsessed with playing this game, it's so easy for it to become not fun. And I've noticed that a lot this year. And I've noticed that this year I've been breaking the seal very early. And I realized yesterday I've never done a 7:30 seal.
That's impressive. That's very
it was. I was proud of myself. I was very proud of myself.
Yeah. Well, speaking of proud of ourselves, this year, one of our best segments, you guys came a little too late if you're jumping here on Fantasy Six Pack. One of our best segments was Trades to Get Paid. We'll be back next year with Trades to Get Paid. We do love that segment. It kind of drove the show, started the show. We used a lot of dialogue talking about the players that you wanted to get. I looked at our picks from last week. They look pretty good, right? Jordan Addison, Tyreek Hill. So I'm hopeful with the players I have and the trades that we did get paid on that it'll work out. But we're going to start our show with the BS, like we said, just the back chat of football for the week, a little bit of whatever, and then we're going to jump into waiver wire and start sit and all that good stuff. So where do you want to go? You want to go the wire? You want to start with the wire?
Yeah, keep it.
The wire. Okay.
Yeah, do the wire.
Okay. Before we do that, I will say I'm going to do a little screen share real quick. Share the entire screen. Yeah. Do follow if they're still working anymore on the old interwebs. I don't know if Twitter's still alive, but go follow us on Twitter. I'm Nimble W Numbers, and then also we are the FF Millionaires, Fantasy Millionaires over there. Follow us. We're almost at 1,000. That would be great. And then if you're on Blue Sky, go check me out on Blue Sky, Nimble W Numbers, Scott Simpson as well. There's an internal server error at this point. Oh, there we go. Hopefully, but that's me. I'm on there. Just check me out. Hopefully, too many people. So many people there. It's not working. So that's happened a few times actually. As the millions get in, they got to reinforce their servers. Hopefully, they can get some of those Twitter servers that go offline. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump in. Let's talk about the waiver wire. And I mean, Russell Wilson, I know he's not the main guy, but still 43% rostered. He was the number one scorer in our league in all of fantasy football last week. He was the man. You talked about him a few times, right? And he has come in this year. We talked about maybe week 6 or so. How could Mike Tomlin bench Justin Fields at 4-2, 5-1, something like that? How could he do that? And man, Russell Wilson is how he could do that. Russell Wilson is back. He looks leaner. He's still throwing that catchable ball, and he's got a nasty George Pickens, who's just against the world out there. Calvin Austin, a little speedster. Freiermuth, who you said last week to start before our show went bukkake. But Russell Wilson, 43% rostered. Is this the guy that you want down the stretch in this offense? Is this kind of, if you don't have a good quarterback, should you get him in your league?
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't think anything's going to change. I do think he was my elevate last week. I do think it's the Bengals, so you can temper expectations a little bit. I think, this will be, they play the Browns again. So, going forward, I don't think he's going to have just 400 yards. It's the Bengals. Like the Bengals, it was an easy call doing Freiermuth and Russell Wilson. Like we have a whole season's worth of data. Like you could just see like this was an easy call. I thought it was wild how there weren't a bunch of like DFS sharps on it, and I think it is still just the Russell Wilson Broncos experience, but you got to adjust the ranks, dude. He's playing great. And Mike Tomlin took a 4-2 starting quarterback that was playing well as well and benched him because he's been at the practices and he's seen Russell Wilson is the better QB. So I do think he is probably the premier guy on the wire, but the other two people, the same two people I wrote down for last week, Matthew Stafford and Caleb Williams are still out there. And I think, like if you have Brock Purdy, you gotta make some moves right now.
Oh yeah. I was going to say Brock Purdy, he was I picked somebody else to mitigate, but I wrote him in and I said, I'll mitigate somebody else. I don't want to pile on him right now, but yeah, for sure. Caleb Williams, 37% rostered in ESPN leagues. He's available in our league as well. And I foolishly was saying sit him last week. No, I was wrong. 3 touchdowns, 32 points. He was in the top 5, 6 in our league. So forgive me, Caleb. I doubted. So he's definitely somebody you want to go snag. And Matthew Stafford, the only issue with Stafford, I think, is his matchup this week. I don't love it. But I think out of those 3, Stafford probably would be the third I'd be interested in. I think, how would you rank? Would you go Russell, Caleb, Stafford, or how would you do it?
Yeah,
Buffalo this week's
I would probably go, I don't know, man. I just feel like at this point, Stafford has the safest floor. I know it's the Bills and they have a good pass defense, but
50-point total right now. That's a pretty big.
I mean,
number,
it's
Puka
Nacua and Cooper Kupp, dude. Like, I think those guys are corner proof. Like,
call him Hooper Kupp because I haven't seen Cooper Kupp for a bit. Call him Hooper Kupp.
Hooper Kupp.
Hooper, because who is he, right?
Okay.
Hooper.
Well, I think he just had. What did he get this past week?
4.7 points yesterday.
That's his first bad game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Last night he was Hooper Kupp. Like who is he?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
So he needs to bounce back.
He's still Cooper Kupp, dude. Like
he only has 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's kind of like pedestrian for right now. He should have like 7. So I'm just saying. I've drafted him in the 3rd round. I'm want my money's worth. So
yeah. Well, he was also injured, so there's been that too. So I think Cooper Kupp is still Cooper Kupp. Like,
I mean, I like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just
saying he's not. He's not.
I'm starting him. I'm not going to pull him. I'm not going to sit him. He's starting.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Versus the Bills, you asked me who I'm ranking. I'll probably rank it. To me, it's just the safest floor. Like I feel like Stafford has the safest floor.
Okay.
It's a shootout. It'll be a shootout. So, the Bills are going to win that game. I bet you Stafford has some good garbage time points. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
I
6
feel
point
like
lower total for the Chicago San Francisco game too. So
that's what I'm saying. I'll take Stafford.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, and then I'll probably go Stafford, Wilson, Caleb, because you just don't know with like
No
the rookie phenomenon is
variance
so real, dude. Like
yeah.
he's just always due for regression.
So, and here's the thing too, though. I want to see what happens with Cleveland in this game if they get banged up, because they're coming off a short week right now. They're gonna have to play Pittsburgh. They just gave up. Russell Wilson was 75% accurate. He only threw 1 touchdown, but 270 yards.
Played good.
Played really good. If it's coming, it's 2 weeks later, right? So it's not very far off.
And it was snowing.
It was snowing too. I don't know. I could just see him. I'm not mitigating him. I could see him doing well. So, I think he's still somebody who I think I would put him number 1. I think I would go Russell, Stafford, and then I would go maybe Williams, Stafford and Williams. I'm going to go Russell, Williams, Stafford. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Let's talk running back. And I mean, there's one main running back, and this is probably the guy who's going to lead, all waiver wires if he's not already on someone's team. And I think in our league, is he available? Yep, he is. Oh, he's out. Never mind. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Guess what?
Breaking news. It's Correndo now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They placed him on IR, I think, as well. He has an ankle injury.
Oh, my gosh. Driving home and didn't have my stuff on. I should have heard. Goodness gracious.
I just found that out literally as I was getting ready to do the show, like 10, 15 minutes before I got on.
This is the guy then. There's nobody else on the team. So, yeah. Roll Tide. Let's go.
Yeah. Isaac Giriendo.
Let's go, boy. I love it. He looks like he's ready to go. He's got some work this year. So, he's in the game. I think he did have a nice little game, 20 points. Yeah, 20 and 10. So he's going to get volume against Chicago. They actually have, a nice pass defense, but you can run against Chicago. And I think that's what they're probably going to have to do because, they're hurting. No, San Francisco, man. It reminds me of that COVID year when they didn't field a team. They had to postpone the game because they didn't have enough players and stuff. Like San Francisco is, this is not to be unexpected. They went to the Super Bowl and they had the toughest schedule after the Super Bowl. Warren Sharp, in his betting guide each year, he kind of goes through these things and looks at the time in between and the rest periods and all that stuff. He said San Francisco had, compared to other teams, negative 21 net rest days, which was just unheard of, just evil. And so you can just see it killing all of their players. It is, you cannot rest, you cannot get better. So next man up is the third RB, Giriendo. Do they even have a backup after that? Is there a fourth man on the team? I'm going to check and see. You might want to grab him,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just Kyle, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Elijah Mitchell's on IR. Yeah. So, what about Blake Corum sticking in the NFC North? You into any Blake? Not North. The West.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the only other people I had written down were Ray Davis and Chris Rodriguez, and it's just all sort of the same stuff. Like,
yeah.
It's probably the pickup of the week is Isaac Giriendo. So.
Yeah. What about wide receiver? Do you have anybody down for wide receiver?
Well, I know we talked about it yesterday on the phone because you dropped them. There's Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. There's a few people, man. There's Parker Washington, Adam Thielen, Kavonte Turpin. I think that there's a good little bevy of wire receivers this week. That
he's got 8 touchdowns, by the way.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like that. That's a good call too. Little Vele. Geez Louise though. Westbrook-Ikhine. Good thing I consulted with Bo McBrayer from Fantasy Pros and asked him what to do. Good thing. No, I dropped him before. It wasn't on Bo. It was on me. I can blame it. But yeah, Adam Thielen as well. My guy is he should have caught a touchdown that they took away from him too. So that was garbage, dude.
Like, that made me so upset.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all as a fan of the footballs. That was ridiculous. NFL, get your shit together. Shite together.
Dude, how about this, man? I'm very interested as we are now approaching the end of the season. How about Bryce Young? Like all of a sudden looks like a #1 draft pick. I mean, he is playing so it's just so weird to see it click, right?
Right.
I mean, he has just been trash his whole career, just trash. And there were analysts, like Fantasy Receipts was throwing him out there, like all these like hot Bryce Young takes. Like, I'm telling you, I'll bookmark it now. Like he's gonna be, he's gonna be like one of these players this year that's gonna win people leagues and blah blah blah. And then Fantasy Receipts, it's like, screenshot it and putting it out there. Well, post, getting benched and then coming back. I mean, if you go through and watch, we talked about it last week. If you are watching the film on it too, dude, his receivers are leaving him high and dry so many different times. Like he's just throwing dimes. Like all of a sudden, he looks phenomenal. So, yeah, Adam Thielen, what's he rostered at in ESPN? I know he's like 40% on Yahoo. He's out there. But yeah, Thielen seems like a really good ad for this late in the season. 27%.
27%, not bad at all.
Man. Yeah.
No, I like that call. And I mean, Parker Washington's not going to get it every week, but man, he's quick, he's fast. He looks like a little like mini Percy Harvin out there, just whipping around. So, I'm into that, and I wish I would never have dropped Westbrook Akine. So I fudged it all up. Just How to Lose Your Championship in 3 Easy Steps by Scott Simpson. I'll write you a memoir. So, all right, tight ends. You snagging anybody on tight ends these days?
I wrote down one person because I just didn't feel like talking about anybody. But I think Juwan Johnson is kind of a must add after the Taysom Hill injury. And there's Freiermuth too. He was like 50%, right? Like
right. Yeah, he's under that. So
yeah. So Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill, knee injury. He's probably out for the season. So
yeah. Deeper leagues, Dawson Knox potentially. If Dawson Knox is in for Dalton Kincaid, if Dalton Kincaid, there you go, is hurt for a long period of time, you can just, if you're super desperate,
Oh yeah, no, that's actually Dawson Knox. So for sure,
it's a stab. It's one of those Denny Carter tight ends, like he's ranked 18th against man press coverage on the left side on Thursday.
I never understood why they drafted Dalton Kincaid. I love Dawson.
He had Dawson Knox. I didn't get it either.
He's great.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, he's big. He's a little stronger, better blocker too. He's more versatile in the blocking game and can catch in the red zone. So whatever. But I'm not in charge of that. So defenses, the only defense I thought of, and they're my start too, is the Dolphins are going up against Old Man Rodgers. So, this week, so they're probably, available in most leagues. I don't think the Dolphins are that special, but yeah, 24th, they suck. But I mean, it's Old Man Rodgers, and right now the total's 45.5. It's in Miami. They're minus 6.5 point favorite. So I could just see them getting after him and, getting banged up again, just Old Man Rodgers. So that's my snag off the wire. How about you? You got any defenses that you should be picking up?
Well, I think they have a decent matchup. But how about the Seahawks just in general in the BFF scoring system are 23% rostered and play the Cardinals this week. So
I love that.
It's kind of surprising how low rostered they are, and
maybe they could be our DFS defense if they're not too expensive. So
yeah, they have a good matchup, and it's decent. So
I like it. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. That's our the wire. Hopefully, you guys can find some gems that you can use Next segment we like to call Elevate, Mitigate, Eviscerate. It's a good old-fashioned start, sit, cut, but we like to elevate it to another level. That's why we say elevate. We like to make it a little bit more, refined, a little special, put our unique brand on it, the Millionaire spin. So what we like to do is go through each position and give you one guy that maybe you are on the fringe about, or maybe you're not thinking of starting and there's a new perspective you can garner, or you're looking for somebody to grab off the wire and just plug in because it's 6 buys this week. So all those are in play. And then mitigate. Players who just maybe they're fading, or we like their matchup a little less than we like somebody else's, and we're just not into them as much. And so that's what mitigate is. And then, of course, eviscerate means you're dumping that trash to get some treasure somewhere else. So with that being said, I'll let you start. Who is your QB of the week that you are elevating, good sir?
I like Sam Darnold versus the Falcons this week. He's been continuing to ball out. Consistently having multi-touchdown passing games over the last 3 games. And the Falcons are bottom 8 versus the position. And what's the over-under in this game? Let's see what that is.
It's 45, but that's probably because the Falcons have sucked and their defenses or their offense has been anemic lately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They were talking about him on the Junkies today. They're talking about how he was regressing. Kirk Cousins was regressing back to old Kirk Cousins when he would just throw picks all the time, and he was scared and he was shell shocked. Kirk Cousins looks like they say it's Jover for Kirk. So he's got 13
I don't know. I'll bet you. I would take the over in this game. I think this will be
Me too.
I think this will be a good game.
Over.
Yeah. But I think Darnold, you're just waiting for the JJ explosion game too. So it's got to happen sooner or later. And then meanwhile, Hockenmonster and Addison are on the field as well. So I like this game. I like this game for DFS purposes as well.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I like your call. It's a better call than mine. I'm gonna make a crazy call, right? And sometimes you gotta make a crazy call. I'm not saying this is something that you should do regularly or you should live by. I'm trying to find him here. He's not even on here. Oh yeah. But if you're in a super pinch, Will Levis, he sucks. He's gonna throw interceptions, but he's got that Blake Bortles quality in him where he's just always chucking it. And I like that. I like the fact that he's going to have to throw the ball 37 times, 31 times, 34 times, 28 times. He throws the football a lot. Against Jacksonville, it's a low total, so maybe no. But I think that he can do a little bit of damage if you need him in a pinch against Jacksonville. 26, 22, 27, 20. So he's got 2 touchdowns, 1, 2, 2. He chucks it around. And you got Westbrook-Akine, you got Calvin Ridley. So you do have weapons. His receivers did him so dirty last week, by the way. They did a montage on the TV of like 5 drops in a row. Or just not in a row, but just showing all these drops. So his receivers did not do him any service. Add 5 more catches to this, he'd even have more yards, maybe a touchdown. So I think if you are desperate, you're in a big league and there's nobody, I'm not going to do this. I like your Sam Darnold call a lot more than mine, but this is kind of like the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? So this game, and the main reason I say this, if you want to go to QBs, they give up the most points to QBs, Jacksonville. And then they also give up the 3rd most points to wide receivers too. So I know it's got a low total, but they don't give a shit. They're not good at defense. They give it up. And so, I think this is a game that can be exploited. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is coming back after that hit either. You got a Mac Jones-led attack. It could just be a rout for this matchup. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tennessee and go crazy and, call David Kitchens. Apparently, I'm drinking the sauce from him over there in the Swolecast because he's mentioned him a million times, and he's not the worst quarterback in the league. So, don't kill me.
It's a wild take. I mean,
I know. I was trying to.
I feel like for DFS, I think he's in play, but man, week 14.
I know. Well, there's 6 teams on bye, so
it's true. It's true.
Get Derek Carr in there. I mean, maybe I'd rather have Derek Carr. He just doesn't have any weapons.
Well, how about
how
about Stafford, Russell Wilson, or
well, I'm saying if those guys aren't available, I'm saying if all of those guys.
Here's the only other qualifier. Like, I don't even know if I want to do it in DFS because like everything you just said is true, but then meanwhile they're also the second worst at running backs, right? So.
Right, that's true too. I could just give Tony Pollard 180
times. Tony Pollard could be in line for monster game. Tajay Spears, I don't know, it's whatever. So, but hey, I think for DFS purposes, he for sure could have a monster game. Like it's going to be a Mac Jones led offense. I don't think that's been announced yet, but
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if he knows what state he's in right now. That Al Shahir's that hit was just terrible. So, yeah. Okay. RB, who are you elevating this week at RB?
I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift.
Same. Yes, me too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. Go.
Well, the 49ers are just reeling. Meanwhile, the Bears, they just continue to play everybody really tough. I bet you the Niners play with a lot of pride and show up and they're going to put points on the board as well. But the DeAndre Swift role, I think in this game, I think it lends itself to, at least 15 points PPR wise. So, I think solid RB2 range for Mr. Swift.
I agree.
Who has continued to kind of look electric throughout the season in moments when he gets to kind of break out and get past the bad O-line.
I was going to say that the real hindrance is his O-line. If he can get in space and get in a little wheel route, a little rub, he's into space, getting off the tight ends, whatever, anything he can do. I think that would be a nice little boon for them. You saw what James Cook just did to the Niners. I know it was the snow, but
the Niners are beat up and they're not good against the run in general.
They're fifth worst, 25 points per game, over 1,146 yards, 14 touchdowns, which I think is second worst. Yeah, tied for second worst. So they give it up. It's not good.
I could see Swift, having 15 points. I could see Swift breaking one.
I could see Swift getting a touchdown. He might be one of my guys for the touchdown parlay for sure. Nice little points on that. Probably get you a little plus action too. I bet you he's like 115, 125 even. So I like it. It's a good call. All right, mine's the same. All right, wide receiver. Since you went there, I'll jump in here at wide receiver. He's not played well lately. You know what? I'm gonna just chalk it up to him being, with Kirk Cousins. But Darnell Mooney has been a little bit of a disappointment recently, and we talked about him a couple weeks ago and just how he was almost, he was ahead of Drake London. He was kind of crushing it. He's kind of fallen off last couple weeks, and so even last week, Ray McLeod outscored him, so he's 19th, which is great. But the last 3 weeks, last couple weeks. 14.6, 4.75. He's got 10 catches. He's still got some targets. I like his 16. What is that? No, it's 19 targets. 19 targets. Not bad. But I think against Minnesota, I think they're going to be losing. They're minus 6.5 or plus 6.5 to Minnesota. We looked at that earlier. So that they're going to have to chuck the football. And whether it's Penix or Kirk Cousins, I think you're going to have a game script where you need to throw the football a lot to be successful. So, I'm leaning towards putting Darnell Mooney back in the lineup. If they, the Vikings, you saw last week, they're not great. They're the worst. They give up 40 points. They've given up 14 touchdowns and over 2,000, almost 2,200 receiving yards. That's ridiculous. So I think there's some money to be made here for Darnell Mooney in this game for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I'll say about that is I wrote down Darnell Mooney too for my wide receiver. That is. So
we did it to each other. You stole mine, I stole yours.
So
better about each other now. Okay,
we are simpatico for we don't our RBs and
we never talk.
Receivers.
Yeah, we never talk before the show. For folks who are just joining in for the first time, Fantasy Six Pack, we do not collab. We want fresh takes, and when we get to the same kind of thought process, it's cool. We normally will put this guy, Darnell Mooney, will be in our lineup for DFS now. That's kind of like I think that's a no-brainer there. Okay. All right. I like that. And we couldn't pan out, whatever, but wrong thing. Okay.
No, I like it, man. He's due for bounce
I think
back.
he's due for sure. Yeah, and Kirk's due too. Kirk's a professional. He's disappointed. He'll come back. He used to play for Minnesota. It's his homecoming game. He doesn't want to suck it up. He wants to do well. He's going to cry on the sidelines. They're going to pan to him. He's going to his wife's going to be in the stands holding their baby who just voted for Trump. And, he's just going to cry. So, it's important.
Yeah, no, I think Kirk's due for some positive regression in this game. And, the Mooney, I mean, it's the Chargers are a diesel team.
Yeah, they're really good.
So,
yeah.
I think this is this for DFS purposes. That's why I think this game will be a good game, because less of the field will be on it, I think. So.
Yeah, and listen, if you're trying to get in the playoffs, whatever, play Mooney, and if you get in, you've got him for Vegas, New York, and Washington. Right. So you've got if you do get in because of him, or you get in and he has a chance right now to go on a little bit of a streak against some bad defenses. So don't be afraid because he sucked a little bit to say, I'm not going to play him. He blows up. You don't get in. And then you watch him for the next 4 weeks, play great, and you can't play anymore. So, I'm not trying to make you afraid, but be afraid. Put him in your lineup. So, all right. Tight end. I'll let you go, sir. And if you steal my tight end, we're playing all these guys in DFS. So who are you leaning towards this week?
I mean, is it Dallas Goedert versus the Panthers?
No, I did see that. I was thinking that's just kind of almost like a double stampies. I didn't want to it is tricky because I play him in DFS. I had a bunch of lineups with him in DFS. So I think he's wheels up, but maybe others don't. Maybe people are a little scared because of this and that and the other, but questionable, coming off some injuries. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, he isn't. To me, I feel like he's always borderline.
I agree. I think I get more excited about the Eagles offense than it really happens, and it all gets truncated into Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts anyway. And I'm like, oh yeah, I thought Dallas Goedert caught 2 touchdowns. And you're like, nah, just one. Yeah. That's all I kind of did. So, yeah.
Well, I agree. It's a great matchup for him. The Panthers, worst at the position, from a fantasy angle. So, he, I think if Devontae Smith is back on the field, they cannibalize each other's target shares, but in this particular game, I'm gonna take Dallas Goedert. I think he's gonna be the one that eats Devontae Smith's targets.
Yeah, good call. And we did not share the same tight end, so I like that. I'm not sure who is going to be healthy for the Dallas Cowboys when they play Cincinnati on Monday night in the Simpsons Bowl, which looks pretty cool. I'm excited about kind of watching that, even though I know that those teams are not in the playoff hunt and they kind of suck. I think those are still nice franchises that are worth tuning in for. So, if it's Luke, Schoonemaker or Jake Ferguson who's out, I think either one of those guys is a good play against the Bengals. The Bengals are one of the worst teams against the tight end, and so far 20 targets for Schoonemaker in 3 games. So it's about 7 targets a game, and he has 14. So he's getting about, almost 5 catches a game. I like that. He has touchdown in there. So I think, if Ferguson's back, I'd go with him, but he might not be back. He might still be nursing his injury. So I'm not sure they need to bring him back to win anything for Dallas. I think they're probably not going to make the playoffs at all. They don't have Dak. It's a wash season, really. So I'm not sure if CD is going to be hurt. He got hurt in that game. I don't know if he's going to be back. So I'm a hope he is. But so, yeah, I'm into the Schoonemaker this week. Are you into that too? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, either tight end. If Ferguson's back, I would start him. I would start Schoonemaker. I have a league where I had Ferguson, was able to start Schoonemaker,
nice.
And he's been adequate.
He's been fine. Yeah,
but it's a good matchup.
I like your Dallas Goedert call. If I have Ferguson, he's on my bench, and so if he's good, if he's gets practice in, he's all good to go. I just like the matchup. I think that they could exploit them. Their linebacking core is not what it should be, and their safeties can be, outsized a little bit. So okay, all right. Who are you thinking about for defense?
Yeah, I've been on particular games for this Elevate segment, but I'm going back to the Bears, the Niners. I like the Bears versus the 49ers. I mean, the Bears really are one of the top defenses in the league. And while I do think the Niners will figure out ways to participate in this game and do things that are cool. I just think the Bears are that good of a defense, and they are just beat up all over all 22 starting players, man. Like there's so many next men up on the 49ers. So I think the Bears, meanwhile, just look like a team that's just really gaining a lot of momentum and would love to just dominate this game. So I think the defense is going to show up in a big way.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. This is on ESPN. This is San Francisco. Out. Injured reserve. 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 Out. That is ridiculous. I've never seen an injury report like that. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna co-sign that Fantasy Millionaires call. I like it. I think I already told you mine. Mine's Miami against Old Man Rodgers. He's out there throwing blocks and stuff. Good for him. He sucks. His team sucks. He should get benched, and I hope it happens. So I'm gonna be enjoying him. Just he's not playing well. Poor guy.
Almost playing well though.
He's well. I mean, 53% was not great against Seattle.
They're all so close. It's just like he's just right
close.
there.
But look at how much time is left. They're 3-9. I mean,
it's over, Johnny.
So sad. It's
over. Man, he really. Remember, we were on the phone while we were watching.
Just missing.
Game. We were like, man, he was popping for a second there. He was popping.
Yeah, I think he gets popped by the Dolphins.
Okay.
All right, what about you? Who's your D to start? You're talking about Seattle?
You said you didn't want to pile on to this person, but back to the Bears game, I am definitely mitigating Brock Purdy in this game.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've been saying it. It just, man, pour some out for the 49ers in this season. Pour some out for all the healthy players like George Kittle and Debo. It does not look good. And the Bears, they are a tough D, dude. So Brock Purdy,
Yeah, no bueno, Brocky boy. He was my mitigate. I did move it around a little bit, and my guy actually is your boy Stafford against the Bills. I'm not comfortable starting him. I think I would start Russell Wilson and like I said, Caleb ahead of him. So maybe not Will Levis. I think I might go him ahead of Will Levis, but if you have somebody else, maybe you don't. But if you have somebody else, I think I would just pivot away. I don't like what I saw. That they're so focused on Puka Nacua. Defenses are going to figure that out. I know they got Cooper Kupp still, but he just I don't know. Maybe it's just my own fear and my own self-loathing. But he scares me, and Cooper Kupp scares me a little bit too in that matchup. So. I like Stafford overall, but I have him in some leagues. I've got him and Jordan Love on a team, and Baker Mayfield. I've never played Stafford. I played Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield the whole season. I just kept Stafford because I don't want you guys to get him. But I mean, so he's somebody who I like, but I don't think I can trust him against the Bills. I don't know. So you've got more stones than I do to trust him against the Bills.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I would play him in this game just strictly because I do think that, I mean, just look at I mean, ever since Nakua's been back, like just look at how he's been playing, dude. And yeah, I feel like with Nakua, to me, he is like Jamar Chase level good. I mean, it's just
he's good.
He's unguardable, dude. Like you can try and scheme it up, but then you do have Cooper Cup, and he loves throwing the ball to Cooper Cup. So I just think he'll end up with decent, a decent
Yeah.
floor.
It's tricky. Buffalo's top 5.
They are.
Against,
It's a good D.
I'm sweating them. I'm sweating it.
I just think that their defense is so bad that Josh Allen, puts up points really, really fast, and it gives.
And they have to come back.
Yeah, the Rams opportunities. Like they're going to have the ball enough.
Yeah, I mean they've only given up 16 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions. I guess 16's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. So, but yeah, I'm a little scared of Buffalo. They look like a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. So, I'm a little bit of afraid. I'm not going to lie, but that's just me. All right. What about your RB? Who are you mitigating at RB?
I'll tell you another team that looks like they're going to win the Super Bowl is the Philadelphia Eagles. And, after last week, Chuba Hubbard, we finally saw not available Thon getting some looks. So the Eagles
10 total looks.
All of a sudden, it's just they are a monster squad, man. Everything is really coalescing for that team. If anyone's going to beat the Lions, it's going to be the Eagles, right? So,
right.
But everything just looks good, and they chew up clock. Jalen Hurts is playing really well. Of course, you got Saquon, who's number 2 in the MVP discussion behind Josh Allen, and that game with I would say if Jonathan Brooks hadn't shown up last game, I'd be hard for me to say sit Chuba Hubbard, but dude, 2024 rough year for I didn't diversify the portfolio. I went all in on a bunch of different people and was dead wrong on almost all of them. We've talked to Zamir White, we've talked Christian Watson. Another person I went hard on was Jonathan Brooks. Like I was just like, I could, it's that cocky, being in the draft and looking at your team. It's like, all these players are going to hit, and I can just save this guy and he can be my RB2, come like week 6 or whatever. And it took so long to get him on the field, but finally he's on the field and he does look really good. Like he is really good. Like, at least as good as Chuba Hubbard. So I think it's a timeshare moving forward. It was interesting seeing him getting the work this past week because Chuba Hubbard has been so good. So, but meanwhile, the Eagles defense is just, I'm fading anybody playing against them right now. So
I like your call. And, next week you might have to put Saquon Barkley in every one of your lineups because they give up the most to running backs. The most. Saquon might have himself a career 300-yard game. That might be when he breaks the 298. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, I like your call. My guy, a little bit different. It is any Chargers running back. I don't care who you are. I don't care which starter is named. The Chargers are playing, I mean, maybe the Chiefs are going to just suck it up again and just be terrible. They will. But you know what? They only give up 15 points to running backs per game. They've only given up 690 yards and 6 touchdowns, no receiving touchdowns. And the Chargers did not look like they could effectively run the football in the game against the Falcons. So I think it's more of the same against the Chiefs. I have Gus Edwards on my team. I'm not cutting him because I think he's got some better matchups after that. But man, it's not. I don't feel good. I don't like it. It's not something I want to do if I have these backs. And I think J.K. Dobbins is on the IR, so to say goodbye to him. He's Eviscerate later in the show. So yeah, I'm just not comfortable with Kimmy Vidal or Haskins fumbled on the first drive of the game when he got in there. So it's not pretty for them. And Justin Herbert, it didn't look good, even though
I lost my crab cakes matchup, I think, because I started Haskins instead of Kamani Vidal. And Kamani Vidal got me 2 points. Haskins got me -2 points. I lost by 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go look at the running back total for the run happy, the best run team in the league last week, it was not good. It was terrible. So they had under 5 points. Scott Maddock at defensive tackle. Did he count as a running back? He got some points. They gave him a carry, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's not good for the Chiefs matchup next week they face. They're going to be in big trouble. So yeah, mitigate all those mofos. That's my thought.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. Wide receiver. I don't think you're gonna like it. But you have Gus Edwards. You also have in your big money league Jerry Jeudy. I don't like the matchup versus the Steelers this week 14. So I think this game will be another ugly game. Judy's been phenomenal ever since Winston's come on the scene. His floor seems reasonably safe, but I think that Pittsburgh is going to find a way to take Judy out of this game as much as possible. Yep. So I don't like the matchup at all.
I'm a little discouraged in this matchup too. I will say he did have 6 for 6 and 85 the last time they played. So that doesn't mean he's going to do that. They could shut him down. They could know all his routes. They could have let him do well so they could screw him in this next game. So
I had home field advantage in the snow though too. So I just don't like it. I don't like the matchup.
Yeah, I feel you. My guy that I'm mitigating is the Carolina wide receivers. You did the Carolina running backs. The Eagles are pretty good against the wide receivers as well. So they're top 7. They've been pretty good. They did a really good job against our boys here in the Dina in the Maryland area over there in Dundalk and everything. The crab eating Stavies of the world, who I'm sure he had a rant video after they lost to the Eagles.
Yeah. You haven't seen it?
No, I saw he had one. It went away before I could watch it, and I was at school, and so
it was whatever. It wasn't crazy good.
Right.
But
I'll watch it, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't like. Bryce Young's doing better, but like you said, they're dropping him. Adam Thielen, I'll play Adam Thielen, but the rest of them, look at. I'm trying to figure out who else is on their team, and some of these guys. David Moore, he had flashed the week before, 18 points, things like that. So it's not like we were telling you, trash. These guys had been getting reps, but I just think even Xavier Legette, who leads them in touchdowns, I just don't like really 9 points, 9 points. I don't like really any of these. And Thielen's okay, but besides him, I don't think I can play anybody else. And even Thielen, I'm a little bit iffy in the matchup. So, but yeah, that's me.
Yep, they are shutting people down. So
they are.
I'm with you on the sentiment. All right, tight end. I'm going the very worst defense to play in all of fantasy is the Lions. So you never know. Tucker Kraft could luck box his way into the end zone because the Packers are that good. Packers could win this game. If anybody else could beat the Lions, I think it's the Packers. I think the Packers are dangerous. They are coming together. But I ain't playing Tucker Kraft this week. So I'm sitting him.
Me too. That you took my guy too. We saw this matchup before. He had 34 yards on 4 catches. They gave him a carry for some reason. Oh yeah, that's when he tried to get the first down. Yeah, no, I'm not into this matchup either for him. I just think that there's better players to have, and don't let that top 10 thing fool you. I mean, he has been boom or bust, and I mean this year you see bust, boom, boom, bust. A little bit of a boom, boom, bust, big bust, and then just a little tiny little booms. So I'm not gonna play him either. Defense, who you mitigating for defense?
I'm gonna mitigate Chiefs versus the Chargers, man. Feel like the Chiefs are
Playing with house money.
I mean, just they're almost on my eviscerate. You know, it's crazy. They're 84% rostered, and they're like the 18th worst defense in the league. And
Yeah.
they're a good defense on paper, and they play good defense in games. But
They don't score points on defense, though.
But yeah, they don't score, but they just every game is just
slog.
mediocreville, right? Like
Yes.
yeah.
It's like
So
watching the Cleveland Browns from the 80s without
I can't wait to see this game because I want the Chargers to win this game. Like I don't hate the Chiefs. You know me.
You love
I'm a big,
everybody.
I love Mahomes. I part of me would like to see a three-peat. But I don't want I don't like that this team is 11-1. Like I want them to lose this game.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing too. You buy into the conspiracy theories and all that. I do not, but I did watch a breakdown of what happened, and basically what happened is they had two players who were not set. Right? They had two wide receivers. The Raiders had two wide receivers who were not set, and they were both moving. And so you can call the play dead, right? It is, a dead ball foul necessarily, not dead ball foul. It's but because the clock had stopped, that allowed that play to actually happen and to work. Whereas if the clock had been running and they had to flow the flag and then they had to call the play, right? Then it would not have counted, and then the Raiders would have got the ball back. So that's so crazy. Whether or not the Chiefs won that game, people, are saying it's not legit. It was legit. It was. They did it by the right way. The rules were applied, but those rules, these teams didn't know that the play before. If that would not have been a spike, if there just had been the ball running and they had done that, then they would have had to blow the play dead. Then they would not have allowed that play. That play would never have happened. But because the play had not started on a live ball and with a clock ticking, they could do that. Very interesting for all those conspiracy theorists out there.
You think I'm into conspiracy theories? You think I'm
just saying I wanted to put the record out there because I was bought in myself. I was out there tweeting it too, like, what the hell, man? I saw you guys always going over like this. Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about the conspiracy theories. I like to listen to them.
I know you do.
I like to listen.
I wanted
to
to put a little conspiracy theory into the show.
Do I think that the NFL is masterminding and organizing games so that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce?
Yes.
No, I'm not necessarily of that mindset, right?
I think you are.
But
okay.
Yeah, well,
you'll tell people about it.
I'm putting it out there for the record. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I do think that there have been interesting things that have happened with the Chiefs, and so anyone who is of that mindset, I appreciate that you are, paying very close attention to the weird things that, like you just said, it's an odd thing that happened. But I agree that wasn't done by the refs. Like, it was real and it happened. So
yeah,
but whatever.
I'm with you. Jameis is my eviscerate at QB. He's going against Pittsburgh, Denver, Pittsburgh, KC. No, thank you. You can eviscerate Jameis if you had him. If you stashed him after that 38-point game or the 34-point game, he does not need to be on your team anymore. He's my eviscerate at QB. You got any QBs to get rid of?
I didn't put one for each position. The only people I had written down, I have a question to see if you think you should. But I know that I had featured the only person I'm 100% sure I'm going to eviscerate. I had him as a buy low a while ago.
Can I guess?
Yeah, guess.
Is his rhyme name with Shramonte Schmonson?
Yes. I mean, What the hell are the Ravens doing with this dude? I mean,
Nothing. They're
his
doing nothing
ass
with him.
score is out of this world. He's got the greatest ass score in the NFL, and he's getting zero like route participation. He's a backup player on that team. So bye. Gotta eviscerate. See you later,
It's terrible.
Deontay Johnson.
28, 21, 19, 2, 0, 1, 0.
He's trending in the wrong. He's like, they're not ramping him up. Like they're like
ramping
Amari
him
Cooper
down.
is ramping up. Deontay Johnson is not.
Amari Cooper is becoming parts of miracle moments in Buffalo snow lore history.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So whatever. Yeah. I like your call. He's my call too. I was going to say you can get rid of Eckler and Dobbins, both of them. They're on the IR. People might want to keep them. They're going to come off the IR on week 17. You're going to play them week 17 coming off the IR for one game. I don't even know if their teams are going to do that, you know? So I'm not holding out hope that if I'm going to be in the Super Bowl, I'm going to bring J.K. Dobbins back and play him in my Super Bowl. Or I'm going to bring back Austin Eckler. I don't think either of those guys, I don't know. I
have a controversial one. What about where are you with Rome Odunze?
He was mitigatable a couple times ago, elevatable. I think
feel like Keenan Allen has just emerged as the best wide receiver on that team, and then DJ Moore is just clicking right at his heels because he's DJ Moore. But Keenan Allen is the alpha.
Yeah.
Rome Odunze just. I don't know, man.
He's had 26 targets in the last 3 games. It's hard to drop someone with that many targets, even if they're not on target. That's just a lot of freaking targets.
It's true.
I mean, I think this offense is going to throw the football a lot, so maybe don't drop him. Just you don't know what injuries are going to happen. What if Keenan Allen goes down because he's old, he gets hurt? Then you've got new Keenan Allen. So I would just hold it. I mean, unless you have to. If you got no room to go, jump him. I don't think people are going to be clamoring for him. I think you can probably leave him. What's he ranked right now? He's ranked 55. Yeah, you're safe. You're safe there. So yeah. No, I think you're good. The only other thing I was going to say is you can drop Noah Gray because Travis Kelce's back. So finally, it only took the half the year. We needed to ramp him up to get ready for the playoffs. So yeah, I just think he's not. We talked about Noah Gray before. He had a nice little week. He's getting some targets. He had 18, 22, even 9. I just think that, Travis Kelce's the guy there. So I don't think you need Noah Gray anymore. Kelce, he's got 13 targets last game, 8, 12. He's getting a lot of targets, So that's my guy. Good old Kelce. So, and then defenses, I don't know. I would say don't start the Cardinals versus the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to run the Cardinals. You got the Cardinals D. Maybe you drop them. So,
let's do stacks of cash.
Okay, I already got it ready to go. I want to hear your expensive. What's your platinum? What are you rolling with first?
Platinum. I'm going Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans.
Same.
Oh, nice. Really? That was your platinum? Yeah, it's just money, dude. That's there. The connection is real between those two.
It is. I mean,
Evans is the man. So that's all right. Cool. We're sympathetic on that. I have an interesting gold one. It's pricey.
Okay.
But this to me, this could be a slate breaker. I like Josh Allen and Amari Cooper. I know Amari Cooper hasn't really been getting a lot of run. But you just know the big game's coming with him, right? Like, I think, I think that last game, him making it so that Josh Allen is the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to have a passing, rushing, and receiving touchdown in the same game. I think it just shows how he is become now a Buffalo Bill, and
he's in.
He's got enough time under his belt, like that. I think they're gonna start really targeting him in a big way. Now, is this the week that it happens? I don't know, but it's gonna happen. Like, if the Bills win the Super Bowl, it's going to be because Amari Cooper plays how Amari Cooper has played his whole career. So
yeah, and that's 13-1. That's going to be a little cheaper than my gold stack. Let me put my guys in there real quick. My gold stack is your boy Sam Darnold that you talked about earlier with Justin Jefferson. I think he does finally get off the schneid this week. I think this is the Justin Jefferson week we've been waiting for. 25 points, 27 points, 26 points, something like that. I think he gets a touchdown, 150 yards, just 9 catches, 10 catches, just balls out. So I'm going Justin Jefferson. This one is 13.9. So it's the high end of 13, a little more expensive. So all right. What about your silver stack?
Hey, keep Sam Darnold on the board because I'm going Sam Darnold, Jordan Addison, dude. It's 11.4K. And
sexy.
yeah, we've talked about this game throughout the show. I'm betting the over in this game, and maybe we double stack.
Oh man, let's just stay right here. Let's stay right here. I don't want to go anywhere. I love this. Let's do this. And yeah, I'm gonna go up top and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bring out my boy, Justin Jefferson.
Fat stack it, baby.
And then I'm gonna back stack with a little bit of the aforementioned. Where's he at? Where's he hiding? Mooney, 55.
Darnell. All
right. And then I talked about him before, but I think he's the play of the week. Saquon Barkley. I don't care if he's $9,000. I'm playing him.
Okay.
And then what do you think about getting your boy Swift? I think he's going to be 5,700. Is there anybody below? No, Guerrero's 5,400 or Guriendo. What do you think about Swift or Guriendo?
I mean, Swift is only 300 more than him. I mean,
okay.
I'll go Swift.
We have a little bit of an issue here. Let's look at a cheap D. Bears 2,400.
Bears,
sold.
Baby.
Bears. All right, we got 8-2 left. So tight end, we got Cade Otton. You got your boy Dallas Goedert's there. You want to do Goddard?
Goddard at 45. What about? So what about?
I mean, we can go way up. The highest we can get, really.
No, I want to pay down. I want to pay down for sure. Goddard's like as high as I want to go.
Hawkinson's 43. That's too many though. I think probably.
Yeah, go down. Let's see who else is there.
Freiermuth's available still.
I mean, Juwan Johnson might be.
The Giants are first against tight ends. Though.
I know, but they don't have anyone to throw the ball to. I don't know. I would go Goddard or Juwan Johnson.
Maybe we do both those guys. Let's see how many we've got. 3,700 left. Let's see who's 3,700.
Okay.
And then maybe we get down there to that in our next little scroll. Okay. Cole Kmet, Tyler Boyd, the no offense. You got your boy Matt Collins. Sounds like Mike Collins. Juwan Johnson, he's there. You want to put him in?
You want to do that too? Okay, so why don't you put in Juwan Johnson and then we could see if Dallas Goedert, we have 4,800 for a flex.
Okay, hold on. I like what you're putting up. Where are you, boy? Okay. And then the flex appeal. Okay.
4,800. That's now we have some room here.
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Yeah.
Nick
Okay. Westbrook-Akine. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. We wanted a little bit of Will Levis. We talked about him. We got a little taste of Levis after all.
I mean, that looks like a lineup that's going to at least give you money back to me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think this lineup is a dirty, nasty, filthy bitch of a lineup, and I like it. So I'm putting it in. Okay. If you're new to us, it used to be called 3 Tweets, but Elon Musk did what he did. So now it's called Rated X, and I'm also going to bring in a nice bright blue sky. I got a tweet for you too. It's just going to be a blue sky for me. Let's go to 3 Tweets. I'll let you start though. What do you got for me? That's my blue sky.
Okay. I just sent it. I'm so excited to show you this. Okay. So excited I could listen to it and hear it with you now. Again, I can pause it, make sure you got the sound all the way up. I want to hear.
Make sure I don't have this muted. I think I might have it on.
Okay, no, wait. Before you say it, yeah. So I don't know if you'd noticed this on X, but they have this weird trend. I love these sort of trends, like that people were saying. No one ever says this is a TikTok from 2 years ago. You have to see. And then all these people were posting different TikToks from like 2 years ago or later that got lost in the ether. So this was just some random TikTok that I never saw that made its way to X thanks to this trend. So
Okay. Let's get trending.
Yeah, this is
man, let me get everything bagel. Do a half pound of poop. And, the usual for me, quarter scoop poop on the poop bagel. I'm gonna do a bagel, everything, scoop it out, do a little lot, and throw a little poop on it. Do salt, pepper, ketchup, poop, toasted, over easy, hash brown. Let me do a half a pound of bacon, egg, and cheese with a little bit of mayonnaise on the side, and then I don't know, put a little poop on it.
I've never heard of that trend. A little bit of poop, huh?
It's the poop deli.
Hey, just throw a little bit of poop on there.
Yeah.
Just throw a little bit of poop. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I do have to say, I think you're probably gonna win 3 tweets, but I'm if I can't even get Blue Sky to work, it's so popular right now. Okay, good. I wanted to go to my latest tweet. Oh, here's us. This is our show. Let's go. That was kind of getting a little bit of the action going earlier today, and it does come at expense of my boy Aaron Rodgers. So this is for everybody who used to grow up watching the Flintstones, all us Gen Xers, right? I just said rumors are swirling that Aaron Rodgers has been handpicked to play the Great Gazoo in the upcoming Flintstones reboot. And if you know anything about Gazoo, he's a magical creature who really hates Fred Flintstone a lot, and he's always complaining. He's really unhappy. So this picture of Aaron Rodgers, when I saw it on social media, just immediately reminded me of Gazoo. So I had to put this out here, and I got a little bit of love, and my boy Denny Carter said, "Good for Aaron."
I like it.
Yeah, so I think you win 3 tweets, but if you didn't get the slant of the show for me this week, it's been shitting on Aaron Rodgers a little bit, giving him the business, because you know what, he deserves the business. So that's
what a debacle it's been
yeah,
for him this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe doesn't know. Scott's laughing at his own tweets. Definitely laughing at my own tweets. I'm the funniest guy that I know, so that's why I laugh at my own tweets. So, all right, Collins, you get it. You got me. I gave you lots of time. I was pining and talking about myself for you to send me.
I just sent you my second tweet.
I'm pulling you up right here. Let's check it out here.
All right, so this says this autistic black guy on Instagram thinks he can create leaf tornadoes, and then the retweet, the repost was, "Gotta be honest, brother, looks like he's doing it." So just
watch the leaf tornadoes. I'm down for this. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, he's got a stick. Okay, I didn't know if he was going to use like a leaf blower or something. Holy shit! This guy's the leaf whisperer.
It definitely looks like he's doing it. I mean, if I was that guy, I would probably think I have wind powers as well.
I mean, this guy's the next X-Man. I love it. Bring it in, bring it in. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That car doesn't know what to do. They're like, oh my gosh, I might get leaf. That's good. I love that, man. All power to him.
Play the poop deli one more time.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the poop deli.
Let's play the poop deli one more time.
Poop deli.
Yeah.
Go all
the
way. Here we go.
How you doing, boss man? Let me get everything bagel. Do a half pound of poop. And, the usual for me, quarter scoop poop on the poop bagel. I'm gonna do a bagel, everything, scoop it out, do a little lot, and throw a little poop on it. Salt, pepper, ketchup, poop, toasted, over easy, hash brown. Let me do a half a pound of bacon, egg, and cheese with a little bit of mayonnaise on the side.
The poop deli. Oh, that's wild. Oh my gosh. Well, that I think you're the winner for 3 tweets. I do have to just say I didn't get this out earlier. Geno Smith is a bad man. He posted this after he beat the Jets. And if you know this meme, this is the funeral meme of when you're dead and your hater shows up to your funeral to rub it in your face and then looks great and takes a picture. So my guy, Geno Smith, is nasty. I just wanted to say that. I love it. Go Geno. Anything else, Collins, you want to say before we get out of here besides thank you to Joe Bond, Fancy Six Pack, and the boys over there?
Yeah, man. Good to be with you, Joe. You want me to take us out?
Always, my friend. You know how to do it.
All right. War, chaos, pain, heartache, playoff elimination to all your opponents in week 14.
You.
Peace and love everywhere else.
Everywhere else, yeah. I hope everything bad happens to your team.